going on, YouTube? Welcome to Gerch Wrestles, the channel where I don't actually wrestle, but I sure love to talk about it. Let's talk, because today the lights are blue, which only means one thing. That means we are reviewing the November 29th episode of Friday Night SmackDown. It is the SmackDown after Survivor Series. It is the SmackDown after Thanksgiving. It is technically Black Friday, but you know what? I still have some left over in the fridge. It is Thanksgiving. Thank you, Roman Reigns. We open the show with the big dog, Roman Reigns. I'm totally imitating Michael Cole. Roman Reigns opened the show pretty much saying that he's thankful for health, thankful for his family, thankful for the WWE Universe, and thankful for his team winning at Survivor Series. This, of course, excluded the dummy on the team, Mr. Baron Corbin, who almost cost them the match, thinking about himself. This then, of course, led Baron Corbin, who actually believes that he is a king. Baron Corbin essentially said that he has peasants that clean up after him. You know, if he drops a fork, they're there to pick it up for him during Thanksgiving. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns eats dog food. Nice to know that these gimmicks, like, follow you home. Since Baron Corbin is a king and all, he had one of his loyal subjects, Mr. Robert Roode, take on Roman Reigns. This match had a lot of outside interference by Ziggler and Corbin, who were both on ringside, but ultimately Roman Reigns picks up the win after Robert Roode tried to hit them with Corbin's scepter. After this match, Corbin and his goons tried to attack Roman Reigns from behind. They did get the better of him for a little while before Roman Reigns got back at them, but you know who got it the worst? Robert Roode, because he tried to essentially kill Roman Reigns by almost hitting him with the scepter over the head while Roman's head was on a chair. But Roman Reigns ultimately fought out of it. Roman Reigns would spear Robert Roode through the barricade. After he speared Roode through the barricade, he would then flip over the announcer table over him, literally burying Robert Roode. By the way, nobody's talking about this, but I realized I finally figured it out. I finally cracked the code as to why Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler are put together. Back when Robert Roode was in Impact, he used to get compared to Triple H a lot, and Dolph Ziggler is like the Shawn Michaels wannabe, so maybe when they put them together, they were thinking it'd be like DX reuniting in some kind of weird universe kind of thing. I don't know. It's just a theory. A correct one. Anyways, this segment was fine. I just felt like it took a little bit too much time off of the show. I believe it almost ran for about 40-some plus minutes, just this one segment alone. It'll come up later as to why this was a problem. Next up, we had the Firefly Funhouse segment, where we thought we were going to get a new face of the Firefly Funhouse. But instead, we ended up finding out that the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, also has his own Universal Championship that has his face kind of on it. It's really creepy stuff. Bray Wyatt also says that he wants to play one more time with Daniel Bryan. Next up, we had a return package for Sheamus, who's been out with an injury for a while, and you know what? The biggest return of all is actually his haircut. He basically says that SmackDown is the land of the wimps right now, and that he is going to conquer SmackDown. Next up, we had a short match between Mustafa Ali and Drew Gulak, which Mustafa Ali picks up the win after hitting a 450 splash. The match literally lasted like about a minute. It was there, it was fine, whatever, you know. Next up, we had Daniel Bryan doing this. To show the concerns that he has since Bray Wyatt wants to play with him again. Next up, we had SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and Sasha Banks come down to the ring. They pretty much put the blame on the SmackDown Women's locker room for their loss at Survivor Series, even though Bayley tapped out to Shayna Baszler. Ooh. This would lead Lacey Evans to come down to the ring and confront the two, basically saying that maybe it's time that the SmackDown Women's locker room got a new locker room leader, and that locker room leader should be somebody that is a sassy Southern Belle. Maybe like, I don't know who. I don't know. Yes, Lacey Evans would then proceed to give a women's right to Sasha Banks, knocking her out. And I'm assuming that this is going to lead to a program between Lacey Evans and Bayley, seeing that Bayley needs a new contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm just going to assume that Lacey Evans is actually a babyface this time. They seemed 100% behind Lacey Evans, and overall this was a pretty good segment. Backstage, Daniel Bryan was asked if he's going to accept Bray Wyatt's challenge to play with him again, but then Bray Wyatt would interrupt with another Firefly Funhouse segment where he pretty much had another Muscle Man dance song thing, which means that Daniel Bryan had to look at the screen like this. Can you even see me over here? There's probably not that much light. We can see that these constant mind games are affecting Bryan, where he's still not sure what he's gonna do at this point. Next up, Nikki Cross would pick up a fast cradle win over Sonya Deville. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville would then attack Nikki Cross after the match, which led to Alexa Bliss returning. You know what? I just had to say, because I wanted to toot my own horn after I saw Nikki Cross's neon blue and pink. For some reason, I just thought like, oh my gosh, where's Alexa Bliss? I haven't seen her in a minute. I wonder if she's gonna come back, and that she did. She did come back. Anyways, nice to see you back, Alexa Bliss. Next up, we had Dana Brooke in the back, presumably texting Dave Bautista, before Drake Maverick would come out with a mistletoe, attempting to plant one on Dana Brooke. Drake Maverick, you know Dave will kill you, right? Wait, don't you have a wife? Which is what Dana Brooke questioned Drake Maverick, before Drake Maverick would then say that things are complicated, and which only led me to thinking, you know who was the other person who said it's complicated at home? Rusev. And then this whole storyline happened with Rusev and Lashley and Lana. I don't want another one of that. Can this not be another one of that? Please, can this not? Please don't do it. Don't do it. But then who would make the return but Elias, of all people, who I guess is a babyface now too. Okay. Anyways, Elias would come onto the screen and just play his song and just... Oh, that's really out of tune. Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to try this gag. But anyways, Elias returns, which means we've had 3 returns tonight. That's Elias, Alexa Bliss, and Sheamus. Wow. Next up, we have the New Day issuing an open challenge for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which was answered by Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. This would be a decent tag team match between the two teams, with the New Day ultimately picking up the win, retaining their tag team championships. Last but not least, we have the closing segment with Daniel Bryan coming out to the ring. He pretty much says that he was in fact changed during the match between The Fiend and him at Survivor Series, but he wasn't changed by The Fiend, he was changed by the WWE Universe. This would lead Daniel Bryan to ask the WWE Universe one simple question: is he going to take on Bray Wyatt one more time for the Universal Championship? This of course led to the audience chanting yes, yes, yes. The yes movement is back. Daniel Bryan is also chanting yes. So, another return. We had 4 returns today. This would then lead to the third Firefly Funhouse segment of the night, with Bray Wyatt stating that he is a man of his word and he did promise a new face for the Firefly Funhouse. I don't know what that means. We're about to find out, because doon doon doon, the lights come down and it's the Fiend who pops up from inside of the ring. He tries to grab Daniel Bryan and bring him down under the ring with him, but Daniel Bryan tried to fight him off. But it wasn't enough. The Fiend would choke Daniel Bryan, bring him down, and in the process ended up pulling out Daniel Bryan's hair. After the Fiend realized that he's pulling out Daniel Bryan's hair, he ended up getting fascinated by the fact that he's pulling out his hair and continued to do it. Not gonna lie, that was a pretty chilling last scene. It was really scary with the hairs all out and... Overall, I have to say that this episode of SmackDown was very, very middle ground for me. There was a lot of exciting things, including some returns and that final segment between The Fiend and Daniel Bryan. However, it really lacked as far as a wrestling show, only having 4 matches throughout the night, 2 of which were really short matches that were probably a minute or so. So, did it even happen? I don't know. But as always, make sure you guys let me know what you thought about the show. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Please hit subscribe. Please hit the notification button, because that one really, really helps me out. Really helps me help you. Help me. Help you. Yeah. And I think we're just gonna end it there. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving with your families. I still have some leftovers. I'm about to go eat that. Peace out.